on to bring you this important message.
Yo, it's Remember the Show. Slick with the flows, where the sparring can go. Who's gonna be on, man, you never will know. Guess you better tune in, cause we live from Chicago. Belal Muhammad, that's the king of the tweets. Jason Anik looks like John, step his hands to his feet. Every Thursday, we gon' give you a treat. It's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat. And retweet, and retweet, and retweet. And retweet, it's Remember the Show, hit play and repeat.
Yes, episode 25, Remember the Show. Good to be back after satisfying our NFL draft addiction last Thursday night. I'm Jason Anik. There's a celebrity, Belal Muhammad. What's up, Bowie?
What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
Bears riding with Fields. Something good came out of the day, so it's all right that we took off that week.
Absolutely. Yeah, Justin Fields going to the Chicago Bears. I would have preferred him to the Patriots and Mac Jones, but I hope I'll eat my words like many did with Tom Brady, pick number 199 many years ago. So anyway, I heard today Leon Edwards, Nate Diaz going to be on the same fight card as Belal Muhammad and Damian Maia. That scrap on June 12th. So is there going to be locker room hotel footage, or are we just going to be focused on the task at hand there?
It's going to be one of those things. If we run into each other, we run into each other. And, you never know nowadays with even the Diaz brothers, the Diaz army over there. Like, right. Just looking at one of them, they're always, like, ready to fight. It's so weird. It's funny. One of my training partner, Horacio, he's, like, sponsored by a glove company in Mexico. And the fact that the glove company sponsored him for the first time, and they posted a picture of him, but they also sponsor the Diaz army and the Diaz gym. So but Horacio beat one of Diaz's training partners before in a fight. So the fact that they posted a picture of Horacio saying we're sponsoring Horacio, the Diaz Nate Diaz commented, "F you, we're not putting this on we're taking this out of our gym. We're not wearing their gloves no more." And then the guy's like, "Bro, look at what do I do?" And then Horacio's like, "Bro, I mean, they're a bigger name. You could just keep with them." He said, "No, man, no, I'm not doing that, man. I'm loyal, man. Like, you didn't do nothing wrong. You just want to fight. They shouldn't be this mad." But yeah, like he lost. They like threw away the sponsorship just because they're sponsoring another guy. I was like, dude, these guys are like next level.
Seriously. Well, good for them.
Dude, he's gonna be my corner 2 for my fight. So I'm like, dude, Nate Diaz is going to see him. We're just going to have an all-out brawl in the freaking hotel. It's going to be crazy.
I love it, man. Well, me focus, my number 1 on my list certainly will be Belal Muhammad victory. Everything else, and all the other things that scatter ain't going to trouble me, whatever happens with everything else. Anyway, so got to touch on the main event from last weekend. Yuri Prochazka, Dominic Reyes. Hard not to root for a guy like Reyes after he's loses to John Jones in a fight that he certainly could have won. Then another chance at the belt against Jan in September, and he doesn't get it done. The first round, just to touch on the fight a little bit, and certainly there's two perspectives, Reyes and Prochazka. The first round, certainly a Prochazka round. Reyes had his moments with the left hand, and then the second round, dude, Reyes has an opportunity where he's even choking him, and he has one of his eyes he can't even open, and then he gets up and he's just totally mauled, and by the time he gets knocked out, he's like, anyway, it was a rough watch from the Reyes side. We'll certainly get into the touch on Reyes for me, if you will, a little bit.
Man, it's one of those things where you're sitting there so close to gold and so like greatness, like you were right there with John Jones. Everybody had you beating him, and then I don't even think it was like he was too comfortable, where maybe he thinks that like, I'm good enough, I almost beat John Jones. Like, he was still in there. He was in there in that fight. I mean, he got caught by Yuri. Yuri and then Jan knocked him out and before that. And then like, you're in the fight with Yuri, you're landing the freaking great shots on him. Like, his counter left as he's going backwards, like landing clean on it. And this guy's literally just walking through. And I'm like, this guy's literally like El Kukui. Even like with his first fight against No Time, he was literally walking through his punches. So like, this guy literally just has a chin. And I don't know if it's like something with his skull or his face. Like, literally didn't look like he was in a fight after the fight. It was like, he was so clean. And I'm like, man, I'm pretty sure Reyes was catching him with some hard shots. I made him do the little dance a little bit, but like, this guy's next level. It's crazy.
It's just unbelievable. And obviously with the for all these guys, just to taste a championship. And certainly I want Poirier to have more than the one belt he has, but even just one belt for these guys, you know what I mean? And for just, whether defending it, whatever it is. And so for Reyes, it's a steep climb back up on the other side of it.
You're like so close to it. And then it's like, you don't know if he was one of those guys where it's like, well, maybe I'm good enough because I just fought with the best of the best and I stayed toe to toe with them. So it's like, sometimes it gives you overconfidence. So it doesn't make you work as hard. Because that first round when he fought John Jones, that was like the best Reyes I ever saw. And like that was like another level. So obviously, like when you're fighting a John Jones guy, it's going to make you raise yourself and train that much harder. So then maybe you're like, all right, I was toe to toe with John Jones. Jan, he's nothing. I'll be okay with him. Bam, you get knocked out by him. Right. It's like, well, all right, there's no way it's going to happen again. Who's this year guy? He only fought one time in the UFC. It's not going to happen again. But, man, that's how quick this game is, man. Like, literally, you're at the top 1 second. Next second, these guys are right underneath you, ready to take your spot.
No doubt. And Prochazka, he could end up having lost to 3 champs. I mean, Reyes, it'll end up these 3 losses could very well be to 3 champions. So spinning it to the Prochazka side, I mean, this dude, only 2 fights in the big show, but his long knockout streak before getting to the UFC, just unbelievable. And you watch this dude and just how much he comes forward. You'll get the Ponytail opinion in a second. But to me, this dude, he looks like he's going to the moon. I know Florian on the Anik and Florian podcast said, maybe work a little bit on his defense and some wrestling, but this guy looks like a future champ. I know there's a belt, I know Blachowicz is going to face
Glover.
Thank you, Glover, to share. But either way, Prochazka seems next. I know that maybe next year, but talk about Yuri, bro.
Yeah, he was one of those guys too, where like the UFC offered him a contract beforehand, and he turned it down. He said, "No, I want to fight a little bit more, get more fights outside of the UFC. So when I'm ready to come into UFC, I'm ready to fight the best of the best." Same way Israel Adesanya did it. Like you don't want to be one of those guys. You get into UFC, you lose 2 in a row, and then you're cut, but you're satisfied. Oh, at least I made it to the UFC. There's a million guys out there like that. Like he wanted to be one of those guys. When I'm in there, I want to fight for the belt. I'm gonna be ready to beat the best of the best, and he's proven it right now. Just those 2 wins. A lot of people are like, he only has 2 fights in the UFC. You're telling me that he deserves a title shot, but it's like same way with Michael Chandler. They put so much work outside of the UFC, and like his resume is long, man. He knocked out King Mo Loa. So like there's big names on his resume. It's not like he was just fighting cans. He was fighting the best of the best outside of the UFC. So now he comes into the UFC. He beats 2 guys in the top 5, and he looks great doing it. So it's like, of course, this guy deserves it. And just his style, like where it's that he's bringing that martial arts mentality. He's not bringing that Conor McGregor, a new guy coming in, trash talking his way to the top. It's like this guy's like weird, just his whole personality, the way he talks, the way he wants to bring martial arts back into the sport, the way he moves his hands, he's dancing into the cage. You're like, what the heck's going on? But it's like, that's the type of style now that fans are going to be interested in because
no doubt about it.
Nobody's doing it. Like there's nobody out here doing that type of thing. And that's why I think he deserves the fight.
I agree with you completely. So I got to touch on the Ponytail quickly, and I'm not trying to be Debbie Downer, but I got a problem with the Ponytail. I think it's a little bit of an unfair advantage. I'm just being honest. Now, look, I'm not a mixed martial artist, okay? I'm not a boxer, so I'm not going to try and tell you that when that thing's moving above his head, that it's necessarily like a target that it would catch his eye instead of his face or whatever. But when you're down on the ground, I saw a couple times that look, and I can speak to this a little bit. I got some lettuce flowing. When he's down on the ground, I'm seeing it a few times. Now, Reyes is in bad shape anyway, but the thing's hitting him in the face a little bit here and there. And to me, it's like, I just wouldn't allow it, man. It's not going to bother Prochazka. It's on top of his head. He ain't going to see it, but it's a game of inches. And if there's a moment for Reyes where it's in his eye a little bit, you get a little hair in your like, I'm not having it if I'm on the other side. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it's the worst thing you could do while you're in the cage is think where you're distracted by something. You want to be in the zone. You want to just be in like flow state. When you're in flow state where you're not thinking, you're just reacting and everything's happening the right ways perfectly. But like when you're in there, you see a Ponytail smack you in the face, you're like it just makes you think about something and distracts you for 1 second. And then all of a sudden he throws a spinning elbow and he's smacking you in the face. And then it's a guy that's in your face the whole time. But it's just like, we're all human in general. So it's like, I don't like hair in my face if I'm on the ground or if there's a ponytail in my face. Like it's distracting. And it's like not one of those things that you can just be like, like I can avoid it. It's like there's the guy, the ponytail, and it's thick and he got it like rubber band. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on with that thing?
I hear you. And it's really interesting you talk about the mental component to even think about that. Because, that's the last thing you want to do is be even thinking about it, let alone distracted by it, trying to swing at it. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what the heck? Like if I saw that guy in a crowd, I would be distracted by it. If I saw a guy with that haircut in the crowd, I look in the crowd for a second, I see a guy, I'm like, what the fudge? So the guy in front of me, I'm fighting him, and I'm like, this guy really shaved his head like this. And he's like doing it with the most serious face. And I was like, all right.
Well, Florian said on the Anik and Florian podcast that he brought Benson Henderson in to train when he was fighting Clay Guida one time, just to sort of have the hair in his face so he'd sort of be prepared ahead of time. So either way, to me, I don't know. Maybe it's because watching Reyes for me, it was a tough watch. Maybe I was just pulling for a guy who really, I saw taste it and really saw it sort of fade away for me. I don't know. Anyway, so I got to bring up another thing that's just itching me, man. And I may be on an island here, but I got to get back to this Drakkar Klose thing with Jeremy Stevens, because yesterday Klose came out and had some comments, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but I just want to give you a couple of things, and then I'll let you tell me how soft I am. But I just want to. So yesterday he had some comments, and basically, he said Stevens should be punished, and I'll get your thoughts, but so just hear me out on this. So he loses so close, right? Let's just talk about Drakkar Klose. So he loses to Dariush March of 2020. So prior to that, he won 3 straight. It's not nothing. I think they were all decisions. So he's supposed to fight in February of this year, has a change of opponent. Then the bout's canceled. Someone in his corner tests positive for COVID. So we're talking about Drakkar Klose, just one fighter. So then he's expected to fight Stevens, and that's well documented. He has a weight cut. He's not focused, and in that moment, he gets pushed in that. So. And dude, these appearances is not just for show money. It's, to have a moment, to have a bonus, whatever the trajectory of your career, it's meaningful for all these fighters. And so to me, I want to read you some of his words. So his quote, I thought was pretty funny. He says, "I signed the contract to fight Saturday, not Friday. So I'm not worried about being in a physical altercation at that time," which I thought was a good quote. So he said he went to the gym last week and he was a little cloudy. Not my favorite word after a concussion. And I'm taking him for his word. So he's cloudy. So now he has to wait till he gets back to 100%. And I'm just saying, I feel for the guy. I understand these moments can be viral when these standoffs, but Belal Muhammad's not doing something like that. And I think there should be consequences. I know Dana said it's Shelby's fault. I'm not going to touch on that, but talk to me. Am I on an island here?
No, I mean, you're not, especially when something like that, obviously, ESPN MMA is going to be posting it all the time. Like, oh man, look at the heat between these two guys. But like, you could do that with just a face off, just like a look in your eye. If you're like, you're nose to nose, that's fine. People are going to be excited about that. You don't have to do a push. You don't have to do the freaking Kutalaba last week, even with Dana standing between them, grab the dude's neck. And I'm like, you just saw the week before that happened. Why the heck are you doing that right now, you moron? Like that was so stupid. And I'm like, when you see stuff like that, you're like, you're expecting other fighters to learn from other guys' mistakes. All right, Jeremy Stevens pushed him. He got heated. Like, whatever. Okay, well, it happened. This is like the first time somebody's gotten injured really bad at a weigh-in. But then the next week after, you have a guy like freaking Kutalaba who's freaking huge, and he grabs the guy by the neck. And I'm like, imagine this guy got hurt. So, like, maybe you do have to start putting punishments out there or finding these guys. Because if this guy would have got hurt, that would have been 2 weeks in a row. And you're like, what the fudge is going on?
Well, and to me, it's like, I love it. But I got so much respect for each individual fighter. And to me, this dude, he fought Dariush more than a year ago, and now he goes into the gym and he's clouded. And dude, if you watch it back, dude had cut weight. He's not even, dude, you see the girl faint twice a couple weeks. The dude's not even in the moment, in the weigh-in. And so now I guess everyone will be standing guard. You're certainly not going to be worried about Damian Maia doing anything to you,
Damian Maia better be worried about me though. No, I'm just playing.
For me, I'm thinking about Drakkar Klose sitting home right now, not being able to go in the gym. He couldn't just fight. And it's like, come on, I'm really feeling for him. So
that's the worst part. Cause like I tell all people all the time, like, you don't know how many healthy years you have in this game. And like every fight takes something a little bit out of you. So like when you make it to camp, like you should be like weigh-in day is like our celebration day where it's like, all right, I made it to weigh-in day. I know tomorrow I'm fighting for sure. Like you get through a long, hard camp. Camps are like the harder than the fights. The fights day is fun. It's like the happy moment where it's like, yes, thank God I made it here healthy. I'm here. I'm fighting. So like to lose a fight on weigh-in day because your opponent pushed you like that. And then like with concussions in general, like, man, you never know how you're going to heal off those. I've known guys that really, it's taken them months to heal. So like a guy like that who didn't even get a full paycheck, didn't even get a fight, with them, he was on a trajectory to fight for a title one day. So like now you have to take 3 or 4 months off, and then you got to come back and then get back in a little bit of shape, another 2 months. And then you have to wait for a fight, hope to get an opponent that says yes. And then you never know if that full camp's going to be healthy. Like look at freaking Chris Weidman. This game is so quick your life could change that quick with anything. And
absolutely.
That can happen at practice. That can happen in training. And like literally that's 2 years off your life, 2 years off the sport. So it's like to lose a fight on that weigh-in day because of something stupid as a push when you didn't have to. We're professionals. We're on ESPN now. We don't need to do this type of thing. Like,
bingo. Exactly. How bananas has the last 12 months of your life been? And I know COVID's a variable, all sorts of things, fights on, off, that, anyway. So as we move forward to this weekend's card, I caught a little bit of Gregor Gillespie's press conference today. I don't know if you saw it, but it was really interesting to me, and I want to get your thoughts before we do the big. So someone asked him a great question, and I should know the name. He's fighting Diego Fieta this weekend. But so someone asked him sort of a question about his last fight was canceled. I think he had come to, he was in, I should know this too, but he got in town. I guess he was all ready to fight, and then his opponent had to back out, and someone asked him a question. And so he went through his he called it his bag of emotions. And I thought it was pretty fascinating. So he says the first one is just like, he's like, of course, this would happen to me. That was sort of the first thing, right? And then he said he wasn't really angry. He was sort of disappointed. That was the next thing. And then after the disappointment, this was really fascinating to me. He's like, then I was relieved. He's like, I was relieved. He's like, because I'm, it's interesting, right? You'll see where he went with it. It was really, he's like the anxiety of fighting someone and going into a cage where someone's trying to take your head off. There is a moment that when you find out you don't have to do that the next day, there is a little bit of relief. So after the relief, he said, I felt guilty for feeling relief, for that. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? He's like, I felt guilty for feeling relieved. And then he went on to say about the opportunity missed. But I thought it was really insightful, and to get into his mind for someone who's not a fighter, for him to say, like, yeah, I was a little bit relieved that I'm not getting in a cage because, we respect all your toughness. So I thought that was pretty interesting, him sort of taking us through that whole range for him, if you will. Yeah,
that's pretty good. Like you hear from other fighters too, where you hear from like Darren Till all the time, where he says like, man, fight week, you're always looking at something like, man, I wish something like a bomb threat or something happened where the fight wouldn't happen. And then like, the fight's off. So, but like, like you always have those feelings in your head, it's like one of those things. But then when you get to the cage, it's like nothing else matters. Once you get in there, everything else there. But when you're in the back, you're like, man, I hope somebody calls it a bomb threat. I hope they're thinking about something. I hope there's something that happens, man. There's like, but it's not my fault. I hope there's randomly they say, oh, the power's out. So it's like, there's no more fight. You don't have to fight no more. It's like, all right, well, at least I made it there. I wasn't scared. I got here though.
Right. Exactly.
Like when you get there, you're like, man, dude. When you're in the cage, and after the cage, you're like, that's a big relief too. After the fight, you're like,
oh, I can't.
You were thinking about this so much. Like you thought you were fighting the RoboCop of the world. And you're like, he didn't hit that hard. He wasn't that tough. He wasn't that strong. And they're like, man, I could have done better.
Right, dude. See, this is beautiful, man. See, that whole thing just connected it all for me. Anyway, Mr. Mero, if you're still with us, I guess we should move to the Bics. Yeah, I see. I thought he might. You hear that, Cody? I was like, I thought he really might not be with us. Are you there, Cody? At some point, we got to see your face, Cody, especially on the fan show. Come on. All right. UFC Vegas 26, Rodriguez versus Watterson. Nice 8:00 start for us old folks with young children. 8:00 main event, ESPN, I believe. All right, so we're going to do 4 Bics, I believe. So first one in the women's so Bully's Bics, 61 and 38 and 2, 60.4% overall. Well done, Bully. By the way, do you not do those locks on the Instagram anymore for the pay-per-views, sir?
I need to pick them back up.
I'm just saying to Cody, we should do a lock on this. We should, maybe work a lock into your Remember the Show program.
That's a good point. Maybe we'll start adding that in here.
I like it. Good, because I missed the lock. All right, so women's strawweight division. I'm excited for this one. Amanda Hebas, Angela Hill. So Hill beat Ashley Yoder very recently by unanimous decision, March 13th. Hebas was on a big roll and then ran into Marina Rodriguez, who's fighting in the main event. Second round knockout back in January in her return to strawweight. Really big spot for both of them. I think the winner of this gets a huge fight next. I really do. There's a lot in that division that, it's the cream is at the top, but I think for either one of these is going to be a real big fight. So I know Angela was on the show. I'm excited for her. Who do you got in this one?
Nah, this is a tough one. Rivas, like I said, Rivas is one of those. She had so much hype. She was like that next big thing. And even UFC was starting to promote her. She had that personality. She has a look. She has everything. So it's like, but then she got knocked out that last fight. And it's one of those where Marina's just a monster. She got hit hard by a beast. So it's like one of those things where you can't play too much into it. I think Amanda's, her game is taking the opponent down. Angela Hill really got a weak ground game. her goal is staying in front of your face using Muay Thai. But I think Ribas can be able to take her down. And I think she's going to end up finishing her with a submission. Angela Hill, like, she's tough. She's a beast. But, like, her weakness is a round game. That's Ribas' strength. And Hill really doesn't have that one-punch knockout power. It's going to put Ribas to sleep. They shouldn't have to fear it. So I think Ribas could just keep taking shots and shots and shots until she gets her down and puts her to sleep.
Well, you were in line with the network, Ian Parker and Kenny Florian on the Anik and Florian podcast. Same pick. All right, this next one, making you pick against two former Remember the Show guests. Jeff Neal, minus 200. Neil Magny in your division. Certainly going to be an interesting fight for you to watch this weekend. So quickly, I hate to make you even pick this one, but so they're both coming off losses to studs. Neil lost to Wonder Boy, and Wonder Boy looked incredible in December, and then Magny just lost to Chiesa in January. I will say, and I think it's interesting, I talk about Kenny Florian a lot, but he really thought that Magny didn't really fight a very smart fight against Chiesa, so, and certainly he's going to have to fight a smart fight against a bad man that is Jeff Neal. So both guys need to get off the schneid. Who do you have in the welterweight clash?
Yeah, like I said, Magny has one of those, man, he just has those days, I feel like, where it's like one fight he looks like a monster, and you're like, he just manhandled Robbie Lawler, and you're like, all right, now he went over that hump. He's beat one of the legends. He's a beast. And then the next fight you see him just clinching with Chiesa, and that's Chiesa's whole game is to clinch you. And you went through, it was a freaking 2 rounds of just him doing the same thing, and then you're clinching up again. So it's like, it made no sense to me. It was like, it was weird, but like he even says it himself now, where it's like, he's like, I don't know what it was. He took me down. And I was like, you know what? Now I'm going to take you down. But then he took me down again. And it was like, it's funny the way he says that. Cause like we're fighters. So we're all competitive. It's like, my wrestling's my game. So like when you take down a wrestler, you're like, what the heck? All right, I'm going to take you down. Like even Daniel Cormier in the 5th round against John Jones, the first fight, where his whole goal was just to shoot on him, take him down. Just say, I took him down once. Cause he knew that John Jones was going to have that much trash talk if he didn't get that takedown. Right. Yep. But, man, for me, I think Jeff Neal, he lost to Wonder Boy, but he didn't have his head coach that fight. It was weird. It was his first 5-round fight, main event, and he lost his head coach. And, he didn't get finished by him. He stayed in there. He was tough. He showed that he had heart. He was throwing it to the end. I think that for him to come off a guy fighting like Wonder Boy, who uses his length, keeps the distance a lot, and it's hard for him to get inside. Magny doesn't use his length a lot. He'll stay in the pocket with you, and it's going to be a long night for him if Jeff Neal just lets his hands go.
I hear you. So the pick is Neal.
Yeah.
Hard not to there. I will say what I'll be looking for in that fight is I mentioned this on a previous show, but Neil Magny working those legs out. This John Jones, Neil Magny leg thing for me. I'm just curious because I think both of them, have spots where they're coming, where they're going against powerful guys and they're going to need some power in those legs. So
yeah,
we'll see. All right, moving along to the co-main event, welterweight division. So Donald Cerrone, Alex Morono. Morono stepping in for Diego Sanchez. Certainly a lot to talk about there. So Cerrone, it's been 2 years since his last win, almost exactly, which was against raging ally Quinta. Not a ton of upside for him taking this fight, as he said. He said he was excited to get paid. Certainly for Morono, if you beat Cowboy Cerrone, it's going to be in a co-main event. It's going to be a big moment for him. Can he do it? How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, it's one of those. Morono took this fight on a week notice. Cowboy said he was motivated for the Diego Sanchez fight. Then, the whole Colt thing, Diego Sanchez is a coach. Yeah. Weird, such a weird guy. And I don't know what's going on with them, but I feel bad for him right now. But Cerrone says he was motivated for that fight. And Morono kind of has a Diego Sanchez style. He throws wild. He has decent grappling, pretty good grappling. But I think if Cerrone stays clean, this is one of those fights where he can come back from, get another win on his record off of that one, and just build up his record off of that one. But
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just I want to see Cerrone. I don't want to see Cerrone lose this fight because then he has to retire off of that one. That's 6 in a row off that, so I don't want to see him come out on a loss, especially a guy taking a fight off a week notice. Like you want him to leave off on a win.
I'm with you. For me, I just was going to ask you why this is the co-main event and not Magny Neal. I just think that I don't understand.
I thought they could have put Neal and Magny as the main event. I was like, exactly for a main event. They signed 2 girls freaking off the street, like not off the street, just off the.
No, I'm with you though. I mean,
right there.
I couldn't agree more. Magny Neal and then the Waterson Rodriguez would have been a beautiful co-main event. But either way, it was a little puzzled by this. But either way, It's the Ultimate Fighting Championship, so it's going to deliver for all of us as usual. Main event. Marina Rodriguez, Michelle Watterson. I'm going to see how many times I can say Karate Hottie. I can't. It's hard not to say Karate Hottie with a Boston accent like all night.
Dude,
but,
you got to do one whole show, just the Boston accent the whole time.
Yeah, that's you got to think. I got to think about it. I met a guy from Boston today who had it. It's like, and nobody knows I'm from Boston unless I let it creep out. He never would have known. Everyone thinks I'm from California or Mexico, whatever. All right, so Karate Hottie hasn't fought since her split decision win over Angela Hill in September. Marina Rodriguez, I mean, she's an incredible fighter. 13-1 as a pro. We saw what she did to Amanda Hebos recently. I think the line sort of makes sense as a close to 2-1 favorite. So any upside for Karate Hottie as the underdog? You see her making any magic in this nice main event spot for her?
Man, Marina's a monster, man. Her striking is so clean. She's a beast. She lost to what's her face she kept getting taken down by her Carla Esparza, just kept taking her down. But even in that fight, like, she fought to the end. Her weakness is obviously her wrestling. But, I mean, her last fight, she knocked out Reyes, whose game plan was to take her down. She defended one takedown. Yep. So maybe she's been working on that. But, man, I think her striking is going to be way too much for Karate Hottie. Karate Hottie's been weird with her striking a little bit. She does her side kicks. She tries to wrestle a little bit, but she shoots way too far out. I don't really think that she has anything for Marina. I think Marina is going to end up piecing her up on the feet. Michelle is going to be trying to clinch with her, push to the fence a little bit. Greg Jackson and them, they have great game plans, but I think it's just going to be too much for her. I think Marina is going to end up lighting her up and using her Muay Thai. Her Muay Thai is so clean. She's like one of the best Muay Thai specialists in the game right now.
That's a great point. And I think it's great for her to get this main event spot because she is a little under the radar, I think. I mean, the win over Hebos obviously vaulted her a little bit, but I think it's going to be a good spot, a good showcase for her too.
Yeah, especially with her style. Fans are going to be excited about her. Seeing a girl with that type of striking is exciting.
I'm with you. So we don't have a game show tonight. We got the he is.
So John, you said you're from Jason.
Oh, yes.
I'm an asshole.
That's
sorry
great.
to swear.
And it's live, so you can't cut that out.
Put a dollar in the swear jar.
I love it. It's because the hair's not down.
Yeah, no.
Yes, Cody. Continue.
Just so much love for the Anik family over here.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. I tell my wife she married the wrong twin, so we'll take it. Go ahead.
I don't know about that. So you said you're from Boston, and I'm gonna play a little bit of WEEI radio board switcher here because the hardest part about the fan show is the fact that people just randomly come on. So I'm gonna try and help you guys out here. A couple of ground rules here on Remember the Show for coming on the show. Really just two. You're going to have your camera on preferably, and definitely got to have your pants on. So that's really it. The first person I'm going to call on here is going to be, I'm going to butcher this, Salman.
Hey, guys.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
How are you?
Doing good. Did you guys get to watch the Floyd and Jake Paul scene?
We were talking about that pre-show right there.
Oh, do you think
I didn't see what happened. Was it his security guard that hit him, or was it Floyd that hit him?
It looked like all of them hit him.
Oh, they all hit him?
Yeah,
that's weird. It's one of those things you don't want to mess around, especially with Floyd's security guards. Floyd got the real guys on deck, and I say when you're messing around with these guys, even when he's sitting there posting up pictures of Kamaru and his daughter, I'm like, that's stuff that you can't go past that level. It's that point where it's like when you start talking about family and things like that. I know he didn't really say anything about his daughter, but just posting a picture of his daughter, that's disrespectful. And like if I see you in public, it's gonna be
somebody is gonna get hurt.
Yeah.
What are your? Can I get one more question?
Go ahead.
Why isn't Zabit and Max Holloway? What are your thoughts? Like why aren't they booking that fight?
Why aren't they booking that fight?
Yeah, like it makes complete sense.
It makes sense, but I think it all depends on timing right now. I know Zabit doesn't train during Ramadan.
Yeah.
It's just all about him being healthy. I know that they were really trying hard to book him against Yair, and they were trying to make that fight really happen, but it just kept falling through. And I know the UFC really wanted that fight. Obviously, it'll be a huge fight, but Max Holloway fight makes sense. So I mean, if they're into talks with that one, that would definitely be a great one. That's pay-per-view right there.
Yep.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
The fear of
you, man.
Thanks, brother.
Salman.
Mubarak.
Thank you, Salman. Coming up next on here, the Remember the Show hotline is Murad.
What's going on, man?
Murad? How are you doing?
Not much. How are y'all doing?
Where you from?
I'm from Dallas, but right now I'm in Istanbul.
Oh, sweet.
So it's 4 a.m.
Oh, no way. 4 a.m. Okay. We got somebody watching the show at 4 a.m. Told you guys, man. We got real
Love
fans
it.
out here.
Love it.
We just, it's Ramadan, so we just flip our schedules and sleep until like 4 a.m. in the afternoon and then stay up until 4 or 5 a.m.
I was just telling them before the show, like our cutoff time here is at 4:18 a.m. to eat and drink. And then I woke up today at 4:26 and I was like, no,
Jeez.
It was the worst timing ever. So now I had to go the whole day freaking thirsty.
That's the worst, man. Oh,
But what question you got for us?
I don't. I just got put on here, man.
Oh, you're good, man.
I was just watching the show, but I'm loving it. And best of luck against Maya.
Thanks, brother.
Looking to see a lot of great stuff out of you, man.
Thanks, man.
Hey, dude, Cody, I saw some pop up
What a guy.
Mystic Black. This dude, Mystic Black MMA. He said he was at the scene in Miami today. I think I saw his handle pop up, Mystic Black MMA.
Oh,
I guess he
Well, I guess
he
he's
was
getting
doing our on-site
reporters on
reporting.
scene, like
Kind of like Rafian Stotts, right? Is that what we did there with something like
Oh,
that?
my reporter, Rafael, fighting tomorrow.
Yes. See, I gotta shout out our boy there. That's
That
a
was
big
clean
spot
right
for
there.
him.
It was funny because he's like, man, all my interviews fight week, people were asking me about my reporting. I was like, no way. He's like, yeah, dude, it's
We're
crazy.
global,
Everybody
baby.
asked me.
It's because Bilal Muhammad's a
global.
star. Yeah, but
There's
anyway,
people in the
so
comments from
Mystic
Vietnam
Black
as well.
might have bounced out, but he's back. So Cody was telling me earlier today, you were saying about Prochazka, how he just looks so clean. Cody, can you just tell me a little bit more about what you saw with Dominic Reyes? I didn't see what you saw.
so the injury report. So
the injury report.
everyone saw the photo of his concaved face, but that broken zygomatic arch, broken orbital bone, like issues obviously with seeing out of it because it's all swollen, but devastating from the double back elbow.
Man, yeah, that was. I feel like he needs to take off probably like a good year just to get back in the zone. I feel like they need to give him like a good fight. But I said, like when you're at that point, you fight for the title, like you're only gonna get the next best guy. So it's like it's tough for these guys. But when you're losing 3 in a row, like you got to not a layup, but just like, yo, give me some breathing room. Stop giving me these killers.
Yeah,
I hear you. Well, and to get back-to-back title shots, that probably doesn't happen too often in the UFC where you lose a title shot and get another one. It's like hard to know where to go with them.
Well, it's easy to know where to go to the show is to the Remember the Show hotline. Coming up next is Darnell Giovanni.
There he is.
Welcome,
What's
Darnell.
up, fellas? How you guys doing?
What's up,
What's going
Darnell?
on, man?
Nothing much. Just tired. Got home. I was at the presser today. It was crazy.
Oh, this is Mystic Black. Cool.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
Mystic Black MMA.
You're our
Yeah.
reporter right now. Hit us up.
I know. I want to have you on the show. I've been dying to have you on the show. I'm always blowing up Jason's DMs on Instagram. I know he doesn't check them.
I'm terrible with social media, but we will connect. I
Instagram in
assure you.
general.
We will connect. I assure you.
For sure. Yeah, I was there today, and Jake Paul was just kind of walking around waiting to do something to Floyd as he was taking some media questions, and then they get in each other's faces, and I kind of backed up because I had a feeling something was going to happen. I know he was going to do something, and as soon as he went at him, his security guards pushed everybody, actually punched Jake Paul in the face, and then Jake Paul's on the floor as Floyd Mayweather's kind of choking him. So
No way.
it was a wild scene, and I've never seen Floyd Mayweather that upset in my life. I've seen him a couple times before, and his voice even got like deep to where he was gonna I thought he was gonna cry. It was bad.
So it was real upset. It wasn't like promotion.
It was not promotion. That was 100% real.
Wow.
And Floyd
And he's sorry. Go ahead.
and we were in the press room waiting for Floyd to come in, and he never came. He just ended up leaving.
He
Wow,
was
that's
was
crazy.
there, so he saw the video doesn't show what I didn't see, but I could see from the video what you're saying about Floyd. It was not a scene. He was, dude. I mean, Belal, it wasn't like anything's happened, but when dude grabbed the hat off his head, it's like, don't touch me, bro, and that was it.
That's the thing. He didn't want to be touched, but when Floyd was on the stage, Jake pulled his shoelaces and untied them, and Floyd
Really?
didn't get too upset. But I thought just him touching him, it was going to get scary. But nothing bad happened then, but the whole scene was crazy, and they were pushing everybody out of the way. Some media members got hurt, like legs, cuts.
Oh, wow.
Well, and there were hundreds of media members there. That was a scene. And then the crowd seems like it kind of like kept collapsing back into each other.
Yeah, it was bad, but I'm okay.
Well,
That's
what
great.
was Logan doing? Was Logan doing anything? Was Logan trolling too, or no?
No, Logan wasn't trolling. He was actually he was taking questions, and he saw what was happening, ran over there. If you see the video, you can see him come in, and he like punches one of Floyd's bodyguards, I think it was, or somebody. He might even be a media member, and then he's just trying to get Logan off the floor.
Wow,
Nuts, man.
these guys are trolls. I tell these guys, man, there's certain people you control and there's certain people you can't control. Mayweather's not one of those guys, especially when you got them freaking huge security guards around you. They're not gonna play that game.
Yeah, I think it was a bad idea, and I know Jake lives down here in Miami, and so does Floyd. So if I was Jake, I'd get out of town as soon as possible.
Wow,
So are you from down here too?
Yeah, I'm down here in Miami. I do work with MMA Island. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of them before. We're on Instagram. I do my own personal podcast every Wednesday. Would love to have you guys on at some point. I'll send you a DM again.
Do it.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what I do now. I just do really good interviews.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man. You seem like a good dude, and
I
I
will.
will.
One of the freaking reporter things from Cody.
Absolutely.
I know. I got to get some made up, some like tags. I don't know. Apparently, we get press creds, and we just don't even know about it.
And I want to come on when there's the trivia. I promise you, I won't get one question wrong.
I believe it
right now.
I believe it.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll test that challenge.
You know what? We'll
King of
get
the Mountain challenge.
Maybe we need to get Mystic Black MMA versus UFC Obsessed. That might be a nice little fan
That's a
matchup.
good one. Let's do it. I'm down. You guys let me know. I appreciate you guys so much. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you,
Thanks for watching, bro.
What a great guy.
He
That was
definitely
good
reached
energy right
out. He see, no one really
Yeah,
reached
yeah,
out to
you
me
gotta-
necessarily for me, right? It's like I could be John's agent here or there in spots.
Do you think
right?
sometimes they just go to the wrong guy? They're like, oh yeah, I saw the commentator Jason Anik the other night. And
Well, you
like,
see,
everyone's like,
it's
"What?"
interesting. They go to the wrong guy, but not for the reason you would think. Because when anything I take to John, he says yes, and I'm serious. Like he'll say yes to. He's like that with this stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh, really?
Like he was on what's Abul is I should know his first ABZ Talks. He was on his show or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like,
yeah?
You know, yeah. He but just recently, but
We're on a
anyway,
Merrill
he'll say
Marketing
yes.
shirt. You can
What's
buy
that?
that at merrillmarketing.com. And coming up next on the Remember the Show hotline, because no one cares what I have to say, is Abraham. Welcome to the
Hey,
show.
how you guys doing?
Hey, what's up, Abraham?
Assalamualaikum, Black.
Alaikum salam. Where you from?
I'm from Cali, but originally from Yemen.
Okay, I see you.
Yeah. So
What's your question?
so I think I got like two questions, but so my first question is like, we know like when we're talking about like the GOAT, who's the greatest of all time, like in whatever sport you're talking about, but in this case we're in MMA. A lot of times like there's really no universal definition of what the GOAT is. So it's I was kind of curious, is like, what do you have to be the GOAT? Do you have to do stuff outside the what your job is, or is it only like inside your job? Because like just take Muhammad Ali, and like a lot of people don't just remember him from inside the ring, they also remember him from what he did outside the ring, and that's like what really made him the GOAT of boxing. So I want to know like, what's your definition of the GOAT in this case in MMA, or what it takes to be the GOAT?
I think the same way. I think it's like not just about fighting. It's all about, you're a professional, you're an athlete, and you got to hold yourself to a higher standard. Like when I say like Habib, when I think of him as a GOAT, he's undefeated in the cage, but then outside of the cage, like he does so much for community, and he's like a role model for people. And I feel like you have to be that type of person, like Muhammad Ali, where he's broken barriers for millions of people around the world, and that's what people know him more so for that. Like where you have people like grandmas who know him, not even from fighting, for just like bigger things that he's done. And I feel like that's where Habib is right now with that as well. When you say John Jones always crying about being pound for pound, this or this, but then like him outside of the cage, he's a different man. When you're being arrested, when you had the belt stripped from you, when you're doing cocaine, you're doing all this other stuff, like you're not at that GOAT status. Like a GOAT status, I feel like you're next level with everything, being a role model, being a great athlete, being the best of the best, and being a fighter. So that's one of the reasons why I think it's that's what I think goes into it all.
Having cat-like reflexes to be able to catch your mic when you hit it
Saw
off
that,
the
dude?
table.
I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Well, I really like you bringing up the GOAT conversation in the context of what's done outside the cage, because my brother, I go after him. I don't like the GOAT conversation. It's subjective. You know what I mean? John Jones never lost. So what am I going to say? You know, how can I talk about, you know, if it's, you know, Pete Rose in baseball, right? He's the most hits and he's not in the Hall of Fame, right? So is it a meritocracy, or does your character have something to say about it? You know, to me, I think you for the first time made that conversation interesting to me, because if it doesn't include something out of it, which is also subjective, then I'm not really interested. You know, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, it's, you know, Peyton Manning revolutionized the position. Is Brady greater because of what he's accomplished? So those conversations fall deaf on me sometimes, but you made it interesting, my friend. What is question 2?
So then following up to question 1 is, you know, Muhammad Ali, he was like the first one in boxing to like really change the aspect of how people look at boxing and how they look at boxers. And he was the first one to show that, you know, just because you're a boxer and you have, you know, a bit more money than, you know, the average human being really that was living around you, you know, it doesn't mean like people are gonna always look at, you know, these guys as kind of selfish. But Muhammad Ali showed that there's a better side to the boxers instead of them just trying to go kill each other in the ring. So then, like, you know, in boxing, he was really the first one to really submit himself as in the GOAT conversation back then, with really no argument. So then it's like a lot of people don't like to discuss his career, but you know, even though like he had a great career, there's been other people who had better careers than Muhammad Ali, and like that's kind of like a fact. Like no disrespect, but it's like you know, it's same thing over here. So how do you judge that on here? It's like when these new generation incomers come in, are we still gonna remember like Khabib as you know like the GOAT, or you just put him on top 5 GOAT of all time, like you know would probably like until a long time until another guy comes in and shows the same kind of high level dominance like Khabib has.
Yeah, I mean, well, it all depends on about eras. Like if you see, there's always going to be somebody better than you. Now with new technology, you're seeing kids nowadays. I'm seeing freaking 10-year-olds that are walking around at 6'6". Like it happens with generations. Everybody evolves. Even with GSP, where he said it himself, where he's like, man, I think Kamaro's fought better guys than I fought. You know, nowadays there's like better athletes. The athletes now are better than the ones before us. And then the athletes in 10 years are going to be better than the athletes right now. So like, there's never going to be that one guy you can say, oh, this guy was the greatest ever to do it. When Anderson Silva was at his top, when he was at his best, there was nobody better than him. The stuff that he did was amazing. And at that point, he was considered the GOAT. But now you look at him, the guys now who never saw him were in that era. And like these new younger generations, they look at him like, oh, he's lost his last 6 fights or whatever like that. He's not that good. But they didn't see him when he was sitting there avoiding punches, doing the Matrix, the first guy to do the Matrix on Forrest Griffin and all these guys. So that's why I think it's all about generational GOATness. There's not like one guy you could say that this guy's the best to ever do it, yada, yada, yada. It's all about just leaving a legacy that people just remember you by. It doesn't have to be about GOAT. Just be a legacy of, yo, this guy was an amazing athlete. He was a great role model, and he was a great champion. So like, you don't need to be considered the one person all-out GOAT.
And there's certainly recency bias. Obviously, Usman, you know, right now is as good as anyone. But I think you bring up a lot of good stuff when you talk about sort of the past. And for me, it's like when people talk about the greatest of all time, Abraham, you bring up sort of the accomplishments, right? And so to me, it's Stipe Miocic. You talk about the greatest heavyweight of all time. Like, I'd like to see Cain Velasquez just as an example. Do you know what I mean? What makes Stipe Miocic greater than Cain Velasquez? Is it more title defense? What is it? Is it an accomplishment? You know?
Yeah.
And I was gonna mention really quick, like a lot of factors, like when they talk about like who's the best, like a lot of people don't really mention other factors than just like title defenses and how long he, you know, he was champion for, and basically like that. But a lot of people just don't mention other factors, and it kind of annoys me because it's like there's supposed to be a balance where it's like some of these fighters were better at, you know, like they had better accomplishments than others, and some had better than others. So it's like, it's a good balance, but they just don't mention that because they get derived to just title defenses. And how long was he champion for? And basically that. It's basically around the title, but it's actually more than that. So do you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Me too.
I understand where you're going with it, but like you said, I feel like sometimes it doesn't need to be like that. And it's all about, like you said, like Jason said, it's recency bias where guys are like, nowadays everybody's looking at the champ now as, oh, this guy's the best. He would have killed everybody back then, or he would have killed everybody next. But like in 10 years, these next guys that are coming up, these next Remember the Show guys, they're gonna have a better show than us.
Right.
They're gonna say the same exact thing.
Right.
Well-
but it's all subjective. It's like, are we going to compare? So Tom Brady has 7 now and Jordan has 6. So Brady's greater. It's all just
Jason,
fun.
we didn't even have to get into this.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's a GOAT. That's all we have to say on the football side. Abraham, really appreciate the question. My GOAT's
Thanks,
John
Abraham.
Jones. I've actually met him in person. It's the biggest human that I've ever met. Abraham, have a good night.
Thanks,
we
buddy.
are
Good
gonna
stuff.
pull more people on here.
All right,
So
man.
I'm actually going to do a twofer here because we get
Okay.
we get a birthday boy on here. Well, it's not his birthday, I don't think technically anymore because it's like 2 a.m. And also our unofficial artist of the show.
No
But
way.
first, Abul.
There he is.
and
Nice lid, kid. Yeah.
Brett.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Family
What's up, guys?
show. It's a
Oh,
family
nice to meet you,
channel.
Dave
Family
Fretz.
channel.
I don't think I've ever seen you, Dave. It's nice to meet you, man. Face to face. What's up,
Awesome.
buddy?
What's up, guys? Hey, guys, what's happening?
What's up, boys?
What's up, Abs? Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you guys too.
I wasn't planning to come on, but then Jason rightfully said my name with the correct pronunciation.
I
so
did.
I felt obliged. I felt obliged.
I'm
to come on
happy.
and say hello.
I see the ABZ talks. That's what I see when I think of you. You know what I mean? So I had to remember
Yeah.
the name, but I didn't even know my brother was going on your show, and I'm thrilled he did. I wish you made him eat spicy noodles. It's great
Oh,
to
did
see
you guys
both
do
of
that?
you. What's
Now-
that?
Did they do spicy noodles?
Nah, we didn't do the spicy noodles because obviously I'm fasting and I like to do
Ah.
it with my guest. So he got it. He got it easy. Maybe next time I'll make him face Jason and we'll make
There you
them go at it with each other. What's up, Dave? Man, this is the first
Yeah,
time I'm
Dave.
seeing
What's
you
up,
like
Dave?
face to face as
Yeah.
well.
Okay, I'm having sound issues here, guys. I'm hearing like the talk going on, and then it's coming back. Okay, so I'm being told to go off and then come back. So I'm
It's
gonna
just 'cause
head
we're
out. I'll
also
come back in.
excited to see him.
All right,
Perfect.
Dave.
Cool. All right, guys. Cool. So
We're just also excited to have Dave Fretz on the program. Such a loyal guy, supporting everyone, putting out all that good
It's a
stuff.
live program,
No.
baby. That's what we say all
No.
the time.
Can I do my question?
Oh,
Please.
dude, you can do your question.
He's
You can
very
do your
comfortable.
questions.
Go right ahead.
I was gonna say, so this is not really a fighting question. It's more about your show. So you guys have been doing this show like really good for the last however many months, or maybe it's been a year now. So from each of you, okay, Cody's shaking his head because it's not been a year, but quite a few months. I want to know.
Feels
from
like it
each-
feels like a year. Quarantine month is like a year. So
So from each of you, what's been your favorite moment on the show so far? And you can't choose the same one.
The favorite moment on the show, when Dustin Poirier did his speech. I feel like having Dustin Poirier on the show was like, he was like such a real dude. And when he went into his little zone and when he went on to his little speech, it was like a great thing. You learn a lot from the guy, and it was so cool.
For me, it's difficult to pick one moment because one thing it's interesting and I will though, but our last guest, when he's talking about sort of the GOAT conversation and people outside of the octagon or outside of the sports arena, it's like the quality of human being that I've come across in the UFC. No, I know you're sick of me saying. John says it all the time. It's like these fighters, they're not only a different breed. It's like there are so many tremendous human beings. So for me, being able to certainly connect with Belal, that's at the top of my list because I didn't know Belal in September. So that's number one. CM Punk, I believe, was our second guest, and meeting him and talking to him, that was really, I just really enjoyed talking to him and getting to know him, and I know Belal knows him well, so for me to sort of be connected with Belal and CM Punk on the second show was pretty special for me.
And you, Cody?
well, I mean, I was gonna say that my favorite moment was Jamal Hill. Just everything, he was hilarious, and I was cracking up the whole time. So he's one of my new favorites. But how can I not go with the fact that we sent Jared Gordon an absolutely beautiful rug and gold chain after he won on the show, and so
What's up, Jared?
of course he had to come back.
So just for the record, drunk Matt Serra was probably the funniest moment for me.
Oh,
In the back of the car. Yeah. Bilal, are you opening your fast just now? Like literally during the show?
Yeah, literally during the show. I'm just drinking right now.
We have like 1 more hour until we can stop eating. So that's crazy. Like you're opening your fast and I'm about to start my fast very soon.
Oh wow, that's crazy times.
But anyways, I just wanted to come in and say hello really. But yeah, enjoy the rest of Ramadan, and Cody, Jason, Dave, Jared, enjoy the rest of your night. I'll speak to you guys another time.
Well, take care, man.
You too, man.
Thanks, Abu.
Awesome.
What's up, Jay Money? That was for you, Jared.
Yep.
Hey,
I call you Jay Money sometimes.
you said J Money. What's
Awesome.
up?
What are you doing? Watching PFL?
Yeah, it's going so slow though.
Yeah, their show goes super slow. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's their commentators. They suck. I don't know. It's kind of slow in them.
They're not.
Well, tonight it's heavyweights and women's lightweights. So half the
man.
fights are women's lightweights, I think.
Yep.
That's weird. All right, Jared, we got you on the show. You're gonna call out Paddy Pimblett or what? Call him out on our show.
Yes, man.
I mean, I said I would fight the guy. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if the UFC's gonna let me fight at 45 or not. So I'm
Dude, you gotta make him want you to fight at 45. So like, say something disrespectful about Paddy Pimblett. Call him like a loser or something right now.
Talk about his hair, please.
Yeah, come on. Give us something here.
I mean, his barber's the one you should be calling out because that guy deserves to be fired.
He seems like a nice guy.
Oh, come on, dude. Trash.
I don't agree with you. I'll be your Al Heyman.
We have friendly banter, and I mean, I already said I would fight the guy. What else do I got to do? I mean, it's up to it's up to the UFC, and
This is a new era. You got to take what you want. You want Paddy Pimblett, we take him.
Unfortunately, I missed weight in my last one, and I don't think
Hey.
too happy about
Nobody
that.
remembers that. The only thing we remember is domination. You dominated your last two fights.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
This is true.
Did anybody here remember missing weight? I didn't remember it. Did you mess it? You remember it, Jason?
I don't.
I think that was a bad dream.
There's pros and cons of me fighting him. If they let me fight him at 45, that means I get to stay at 45. Besides that, there's no more upside to it because unfortunately he doesn't have any UFC wins. So it's almost like I have to take a little bit of a step backwards. Not bad. I'm not saying that as an opponent he's not worthy, but I'm saying it's not like I'm fighting a guy that's got 5, 6, 7, 8, not 10 UFC fights. I'm fighting a newcomer, so it's like, the only pro would be staying at 45. So that's why I campaigned for it a little bit, and we agreed to it, and we're just waiting to see if they make it happen. My manager said that he would reach out to his manager and see if they would agree on it, but at the same time, it's the UFC could just be like, nah, let's make Jared go back to 35. So
Jared,
I don't really care who they make me fight. I just want to fight,
I'll do you up some more artwork for that if you can get that one. We'll do up something really nice.
Oh, you're an artist?
Yeah, I did the piece last time. You said.
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
It's all good,
man.
man.
You're
It's totally
good.
cool.
Dude, we give you art all the time, and this is how you repay us. You don't appreciate anything.
Bilal, real quick, what are you wearing?
Dude, this is my boy's.
I love
his
that he
girl
went
made
there.
a shirt company. She does tie dye. It's called CNC. I'm trying to give it a shout out. Like, people looking at it now, they're watching it. They're like, man, where do you get that shirt from? Then I tell them. Then all of a sudden, her business goes booming.
You know what? Honestly, when you lean back a bit, right above the D, it looks like a Canadian flag.
Yeah, this is Canadian
Oh,
flag.
yeah.
There we go. Hey, right? Look at that.
See, now I got Canadians wanted this shirt.
I feel right at home. This is fantastic. Thank you,
Who
guys.
cares about Canada?
Hey, Jared, who's this special karate guy that Gilbert Burns is bringing in for Wonder Boy? He says that's going to be the key to his camp.
I have no idea.
Come on, dude. You're on the show. Give us the inside source. Break the news here.
I know who it is.
Do you?
The same thing, and I'm like, who the hell could he possibly be bringing in? I'll tell you what, though, that Wonder Boy, he's definitely a difficult person to get ready for. You know,
Yeah, man.
For real.
How do you mimic him?
No.
You know, and his length and his reach and his
personality,
style, one of a kind. Yeah, and he's so nice. It's like,
There
how do you get a guy that mimics Wonder Boy? It's like impossible.
Sage Northcutt.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sage
It's a little
Northcutt,
dude
I don't know. I don't know about all that.
So
Wow.
Dave, Dave? Are you on the West Coast? Where Canada, East Coast? Where are you at?
I'm like an hour west of Toronto,
Gotcha.
of
right.
downtown. Yeah. So Southern Ontario area. Spent a lot of time in Detroit area growing up as well too.
It's like 2 degrees up there now.
You know what? Today was
Perpetually.
18. Now, see, I'm talking Celsius too, so I don't know how to flip to Fahrenheit. So now it was beautiful
40.
here today. Belal, growing up, huge into basketball. My dad put me in basketball program when I was in kindergarten, and I remember watching Michael Jordan get drafted, and I was a Bulls fan until the Raptors settled in at home here, and
Nice.
I go to lots of games and stuff, and I love it. So if I'm not watching MMA, I'm watching basketball completely. So
My type
that
of sport.
championship had to be awesome for you.
it was so amazing, man. It was so good. Being downtown there was just absolutely unreal. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Man, I'm the biggest basketball fan ever.
Jared literally does not watch any sports at all. We literally lived together for 2 years, and he wouldn't do nothing but literally watch Sopranos all the time. I'll literally come back home and there'd just be Sopranos on. And then I'll put on the basketball game. It'll be like playoffs, game 7. And he'd be like, bro, what are you watching?
Just gabagool to be talking about.
What is,
Awesome.
Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan still playing or what?
No longer.
Christopher,
But
he
it's been a
doesn't
few
even
years,
play.
but so
Jared, when would you like to fight though? Because you look like you're working. You look good, man. I mean,
Listen,
I've been training like I got a fight coming up for months.
yeah.
I mean, I got nothing else to do. Like,
No, I hear you.
I just
Now watching
train,
basketball.
But,
And he's ordered a $10,000 mattress.
I would like.
So you got to pay for
He's
it
got a
somehow.
$500 gold chain missing.
I just I'm hoping to fight like July, maybe. At least July. I mean, I hope it's
July
not-
10th would be good. Get some eyeballs on you on July 10th would be good.
Yeah, I don't want to go any
Yeah.
later than that. So see what happens.
Fun card to
But
go.
I'm
Good
sure
one.
they'll probably make me fight in like August or September. You know, that's how it goes. But I'm not in a rush. I got some things going on and that I've been working on. So,
Elaborate. What do you got going on?
you know, tanning at the pool. No, just like some stuff in the recovery
Okay, buddy.
industry. Working with some rehabs down here in Florida. You know, this is like the rehab capital of the of the world down here.
Yep.
So I've been in touch with some treatment centers, and you know, we're just trying to get like maybe a partnership going, and you know, hopefully get on something where I can help people and grow my brand, and you know, just start doing other things to make income and you know, branch out a little bit. I'm also like super heavy in the crypto right now. I just spent like tons of money on crypto. But
What do you got? Dogcoin or what?
What are you in? It's Dogecoin, first of all.
Doge, AMP, I just put a bunch of money into Sia coin.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah.
Jason, are you a
I got-
kryptonite or no?
What's
I got
up?
Ethereum,
Are you a
I got
cryptoer or
Bitcoin,
no?
You know.
Little bit. You know,
When you say a little bit, like
I'm
you
a big
mean, like,
Bitcoin
yeah,
guy.
like $10
meaning I
Dodge
got
coin?
into it very recently, and I wish I had gotten in sooner.
A few years
Like,
ago.
you
like
know-
a year ago when Kenny told me to buy Bitcoin, and I did.
I know it's outstanding. You know,
But
but no, I mean,
love
I'm in the
Ethereum,
stock
though,
market a little
because
more than
Ethereum-
Bitcoin, but I'm trying to learn every day. But Jared just gave me some things to study, so that's good.
Ethereum is like the digital currency for NFTs. So
Yes. I
very
want to get
high
some of my
inflation market, I think.
my art in NFTs.
Yeah,
Get some
there you
stuff
go.
out and do that.
Man, I've been
Absolutely.
trying to like figure out that NFT stuff, but I have no idea what is going on with that.
Yeah, Jamal Hill did one. He did like a trading card NFT.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
one I
search that
saw.
up now. That's cool. UFC's coming out with NFT trading cards.
Really?
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
same company as
The
Top
NBA
Shot.
Yes,
I think
yes,
it's
it
called.
is actually. Yeah.
Belal, how you feeling? I don't know. You probably already discussed this on the show, but how's camp going?
Good, feeling good. Getting ready to pull guard, and right when the fight starts, feeling strong enough.
Jared, it's
paying
like
attention
no
to me when I
matter
said
what
that
you
or no?
say, no matter what you say to Belal, you're getting a sarcastic answer, Jared. Like you were legitimate, right? Weren't you legitimately seeing how he's doing, or no?
No, literally, right when he asked that question, he was looking away. So he said, "So, Flo, how you doing?" And then he did that. And then I responded, "What's it? I'm a
It's just a nervous tick. It's because he's like
give me a reaction at all. It was literally like
he's
Larry
just
David
anxious.
really
He's
is.
on with someone who's third from the top of a pay per
I'm
view. You know,
watching Usman's brother fight right now.
Oh, is he winning?
Oh yeah.
It's the first round and it's going back and forth. I don't know who's
yeah.
winning
I'm in talks
That's probably a good.
for
That's
us to
probably
do
a
a
good time
live
for us to
commentary for
transition.
PFL.
And oh, you're gonna get it on the screen.
No,
for
I'm
us,
just
huh?
kidding.
Yeah.
No,
Well, that might be a good time for us to
I'm just
transition. Go take a look at that. Go support Kenny Florian and the rest of
Well,
the
we will do
troops.
that. Let me just roll through. I got 4 people here in the lobby that I'm going to
Ooh,
give
wow.
questions, and
Wow.
we'll have them come on here. Jared, if you want to stay on, that's fine. If not, because
No, I'm
Belal
good.
didn't send you a chain, you're good.
Can I ask a
Dave.
question? Is that cool?
Yeah,
guys?
Dave,
ahead.
we're going to keep you on till the end.
All right, sweet. Sounds good. Okay, so I'm curious as to how the show got going. I want to know sort of what was the starting point and how this came to be. And Jason, how did you and Belal get connected for this, and how did this all happen?
Cody.
Well, so I obviously came onto the Anik and Florian podcast like a year ago, and John was always high on Belal. He's like, if we're ever going to do anything, I want to do it with Belal. And that was always what he said. And so we just kind of were chopping up ideas. And once we reached out to Belal, he came up with, he had already been doing the game show thing with fans. And he was like, oh, we can center the show around that. And then so we kind of built the show from the ground up from there. And then, Jay, how did you get involved with this? When did you come in?
To be honest, I don't. I talk a lot of shit to John about all the stuff in mixed martial arts, and to be honest, a lot of stuff I wouldn't say on a show like this. So I don't really know what I'm doing here, because all the stuff I say to him, I can't really say on the air. No, I mean, for me, it's like we have the same DNA. So certainly, I was an actor in the past. So, for me, certainly there's some comfort with this, but I've been a hack. It's been a mess for me, but for me, it was just an opportunity to sort of try this. I sold my previous business. I'm working in a new business now, but it was a little bit of a transition time. But for me, it's really just to try to learn and get better. And I enjoy it very much, but it's I'm green. I've never done anything like this in my life.
It fits. It's good. It's a lot of fun. I know I always post about, Thursday night is due Friday night, but I love this. I look forward to this every week. It's a blast. So it works. It's a good chemistry and it's a lot of fun. So
Dude, this
we appreciate it, man.
Well, I know one person that doesn't think, though. It's David Hansen. So we got him in here. And when he turns off his mute button, he can ask us questions.
There we go.
What's going on, everybody? How's it going?
What's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Hey, so first of all, I just want to say I'm a huge fan of you guys. Belal, I feel so bad about your last fight. When that eye poke happened, I was on my couch going, oh no.
Yeah.
I just feel so bad. But good luck in your next fight. Jared, same thing for you.
Oh, thank
Love
you.
what you guys do.
Jared's
So-
not really a part of the show though, but yeah.
Well, and he's here. He's here, so I figured I would tell him good luck in his next fight.
Thank you,
Anyway,
sir.
so I had some questions about the welterweight division. So as you guys have probably seen on Twitter and the media spaces, Usman is apparently calling for a fight with Chiesa. So that doesn't make much sense to me because Colby seems to be the number one contender. So do you guys think maybe Usman's trying to duck Colby?
I don't think he's really trying to duck him. I think it's more so just like kind of like trolling Kobe a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
Kobe's standing on the sideline. He's not fighting. He's not trying to take any other fights. Like, he's only fought one fight since the Usman fight. And Usman's literally fought twice since that fight, or 3 times since that fight.
3 times.
Yeah. So it's like Kobe sitting there waiting for him to get handed to him. I think Usman just wants to see him be more active, especially now. I think Usman's going to take a little time off. So Kobe should be fighting somebody. And he just keeps turning down fights thinking he deserves the title fight. I mean, you got knocked out on the title fight, and then you beat Woodley, who's literally lost 4 in a row right now. So it's not really like that's not really like a high win to come off of. Chiesa,
in my opinion, he should have had the balls to step up against Edwards.
yeah, exactly. Like something like that. It would have made sense, but it's like for him, he thinks that I deserve the next title fight, I deserve this, I deserve that. And I understand where Usman's coming from, where it's like, yo, bro, I fought 3 times since you fought. You don't deserve to fight me yet. You haven't earned that right to fight me yet. So, like, hey, I just give another guy a chance. Like, I already fought you. It's boring to do rematches. So it's like, if you already beat a guy, especially knocking him out, it's like, well, maybe I want to fight new blood. So why not fight Chiesa?
Yeah, I get it. Either him or me. It would have been nice to see maybe Wonder Boy get the shot, but unfortunately, he's matched up with Burns, which is a tough fight for him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that fight right there. Wonder Boy, he's like, that's why I think he's like the most dangerous guy in the division because he has such a weird style, and it's like one of those styles, like you said, it's hardest guy to train for. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
He's like the welterweight Adesanya.
Yeah, and then like especially because I think all of Gilbert Burns' teammates suck, so like nobody from Gilbert Burns' gym is good. So it's like so weird.
I was literally just about to say, like, you're forgetting he trains with world-class karate.
Well, wait a minute. Now that you say that, so does that mean that you have Charles Oliveira over Michael Chandler?
Yeah, I do have Charles Oliveira over Michael Chandler. Like I said, nobody from that gym is very good.
I like it.
Oh, Belal.
Belal will be there next week too. He'll be like down there getting rounds in.
With us next week. Oh, I love this place.
Well, I do. Another thing is one of the other. I think his name was Abraham. He touched on it about the GOAT talk, and I totally agree where you guys are coming from with the whole recency bias thing, because like they talk about GSP being the GOAT, but you got to think that was so long ago. Like if you paired a GSP in his prime up with Usman right now, Usman would beat the brakes off of GSP. I think.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it would just be complete domination, and unless there's something that magical happens in the welterweight division, like until Belal gets up there, I don't think there's going to be very much of a chance of Usman losing his belt.
That's a very great point right there.
It's a great point.
I like you, Dave.
Yeah.
But I certainly hope Wonder Boy gets that shot. I'd like to see Wonder Boy fight Usman at some point for that belt.
Absolutely.
I really would.
That would be a great fight. I think the striking of Wonder Boy would be the biggest. I mean, even though Usman's striking has obviously just gained levels since even the first Masvidal fight. You see then in the second Masvidal fight, he leveled up significantly. But Wonder Boy's a different type of striker.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Good stuff, man.
Hello.
That's a familiar face. What's up, Raheem?
Raheem, adding in. We're just gonna layer these on. Dave, we love having you. We're gonna keep you on here. I'm gonna mute you.
That's good.
Raheem, come on and ask your question. We're gonna roll through these. We don't have all the time in the world. We can't pay Jared Gordon all night.
So I want to see what Belal's shit talk is like off of Twitter, right? I want him to cut a WWE style promo on Damian Maia.
On Damian Maia? You can't call a promo on Damian Maia.
Okay, what about Nate Diaz or Leon Edwards? You never know. Fight week, one of them might get injured. You might get called into that fight.
So that's a very good point.
Wow, he went. Raheem, do you want to give him an example? Raheem, do you want to do like an example of what you're looking for from our host here?
Let's give us an example, Raheem. Put him in the middle, Cody.
No, I mean, because it's not really a question for Belal. You're sort of asking him to perform. So do you want to sort of show us what we're looking for here?
Nate Diaz, he's a phony. He's not fought anybody in ages, yeah? He's not beaten anybody. And he thinks he can come and get a title shot off of one win. Leon Edwards, same. He's coming off an eye poke, yeah? And he's calling for a title shot. What sort of a fighter is he? Come on, Belal. This is what I need from you.
Where are you from? Do you have a good accent?
Man, good.
I'm from the UK.
You're from the UK. You want me to call out Leon Edwards? Look at you, boy. That's a
but I prefer
right
you
there.
in it.
His name's Raheem. Of course he's going to be your friend.
Oh, we're off the rails here. All right. Well, we're just gonna add in Prince from the store because we love Prince. What's up?
Oh shit!
Representing Prince, that a boy.
Prince.
Look at that.
These are all plants, Jared. Like these are all plants.
Belal has
Is that Jared the
paid
Flash Gordon?
everyone to come on the show.
Gordon, you see, he just gave you some love. You hear that?
You just said, is that Jared the Flash Gordon?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Man, I don't have a haircut
Prince.
right now, Jared, but man,
That's
my bad.
Bilal's brother. He doesn't.
Dude, that's not my brother.
I mean, he's my brother in Islam, yeah.
Yeah, my brother. Yeah, me too. Alhamdulillah.
Is it too late for questions or no?
Fire
What's
away.
your question?
All right.
You wrote it down?
All right. When you're dieting, what's your favorite thing to eat? And when you're not dieting, what's your favorite thing to eat?
That was the lamest question I ever heard. When I'm dieting, my favorite thing to eat is I would say like gabagool. You ever heard of it? Or
Yeah.
and then when I'm not dieting, like pasta de voux. What's it called, Jared?
Fajoule, is that?
Bajour. Pasta de
Pasta
bajour.
fajoule. Pasta fajoule. That's not really pasta though. That's just soup.
Fugazi is what that is.
That's what I like.
You're fugazi, Belal. You know nothing about Italian food. This is great. That was a lame question, Prince.
That was a lame question.
All right. I mean, what should I ask? Give me an example.
Why would I give you a question to ask me? What's up, Alexander? Give us a good question.
Who's that?
Alex? Ander?
This guy's outside.
You got no internet. That's a bad one.
He'll get there. He's got that long lettuce flowing. He'll get there.
I don't know where he is. Where it's still daytime. Someplace where there's internet. No internet, I guess.
So Usman's brother's fighting right now. Still.
He just got rocked.
Oh, he lost?
Oh, really?
Got left right now.
Oh, he got knocked out?
I think he got choked out.
No way.
He got finished.
Dude, the guy was like 2 times the size though.
Yeah, he got dropped and then choked.
Oh, wow. Well, okay. This is fun, guys.
Yeah,
But you gotta
break my
eat,
fast.
Belal. You gotta get some food in your belly, bro.
I gotta break my fast, guys. I'm dying here. Jared, you fasted today or no? Terrible.
Yeah, I fasted all day until about 8 a.m.
That's it. Episode 25. Remember the show, the fan show. We're
That's
out.
a wrap.
All right.